Silence, they say, is golden. But in the year 2011, the silence of Ghanaians and the tales of respect for the aged and responsible citizenry seem to have been thrown to the dogs. The year can best be described as a year when the action or inaction of the government took a toll on everyone, including the ardent die-hard supporters of the ruling party. The two main slogans reiterated throughout the year were Ziwufiasem and All Die Be Die. However, Ghanaians somehow found both slogans irritating, unbeneficial, problematic, and perhaps even childish. But these came from the two most important political heads of the two biggest parties. A limping elephant trying to outwit the umbrella, and an umbrella that does not know whether it is raining or whether the sun is out. Our airwaves were filled with misplaced passions that fueled contempt, disdain, and disparagement. Ghanaians listened into the good, the bad, and the ugly. Is it not the case that the war of words, condemned by many and yet encouraged by many others, has sharply put a wedge between us? Have we refused to learn that words are tools for development as well as war? Yet in 2011, the silence broke, and Ghanaians saw a level of insults and profanity not seen or heard in all our political journey.
Insults on about from this what is called commentators, political party commentators on the radios. It's been too much. So as we enter into an election year, if those things can be reduced, it will help us a lot.
It has not been much improvement in the sense that we refuse to tolerate each other. Okay? If it's opposition who is talking, then the other side doesn't agree. And if it's a government, whatever government does, is not taken by opposition. And you can see there's no tolerance. Okay? So there's too much of, unnecessary argument, counter-argument in terms of politics. So there's not much development.
The perception of corruption rose in 2011, and the front pages spilled the beans on several truths and untruths. From mansion-grabbing politicians to unheard-of payments to political financiers. From social democrats who act like capitalists to capitalists who act like social democrats. Also confusing? Maybe. But this is the 2011 Ghana we all beheld. From a former boss who can't forgive himself for selecting a successor to a successor who refuses to recognize his former boss for selecting him. The champions of our time stood toe-to-toe and traded political blows. What happens when politics get in the way of development? That is what perhaps has happened to the action year, declared at the beginning of the year. Schools and the trees completely wiped out? Or roads and rural electrification projects commissioned?
You are going to Kumasi, you spend hours before you get to even Konongo. And it's just incredible. The question is, why that delay? And that road is a major road.
For the government, it's been a good year. But good is relative depending on which fence you sit on. 2011 also saw some men of God treading the places where even angels fear to tread. Not a month passed without the Church of God witnessing another pastor's extracurricular activities. Some landed in prison, others still waiting to see or hear what the law has for them. Talking about the law, the judiciary took a knock this year too. Some have accused them of corruption. Others have called them names I cannot repeat here. But the truth is, they have ended the year rather badly, with the current case of cocaine turning into sodium bicarbonate, and with the police trying hard to redeem their image by passing the buck onto the judiciary. The CJ must be wearing her wig the wrong way, with these challenges and others rearing their ugly heads in her space. Lest I forget, the president still refuses to sleep and work in Jubilee House turned Flagstaff House, but uses the presidential jet acquired by the same builder of the house that he has refused to stay in. Whilst his predecessor has launched his foundation and his boss struggles to get Somalia back on track, Mr. President is happy about the many loans he has contracted for the country. Action Year Part 2 coming up in 2012? Watch this space. Let us not forget the STX that was heralded with all the pomp and pageantry. Yet, there has been no show, and the George Bush Highway is still not completed. Other roads, such as the Legon-Pantine Road and the Achimota-Afanko Road, are still looking for their high gears. This is the year 2011. We all saw and will say goodbye to in a few days. Hopefully, we will embrace 2012, our election year, with open arms, less talk, and a positive year. But I can bet my last dollar that the noise will be louder and the war drums will be beat harder. J.O. Tiajiman for ETV Ghana News.